Video number 3 on my training and programming calisthenics for various objectives series. We've already covered endurance, we've already covered strength training, today muscle building, okay? Now, with muscle building, things are getting a little bit different, okay? You can't necessarily train size. The SAID principle, again, this is what governs all physiological adaptation in the body due to exercise, because you gain what you challenge. So how do you challenge muscle size? Like, you wear a bigger shirt and say, come on, bicep, you gotta fill up the sleeves or something. Basically, exercise is about training your body for capability, not appearance. Mother Nature never made the body so it can change so that you look different. It's so you can perform well. So this whole idea of if I train the right way, I'm gonna look the right way is largely a figment of human imagination. Even more so when it comes to weight loss. But there is a couple things that we can influence here. Okay, so basically when it comes to muscle building, okay, we have this cycle I've talked about with muscle building made simple. Stress and recovery, and this is going on. You stress a muscle, you're using some of the chemical energy within that muscle, and then it recovers, and if you use enough of that energy, what ends up happening is it sends off kind of like this DEFCON 5 alarm system going on, so that when it puts the energy, chemical energy back in the cell, it super compensates a little bit, so that you're a little tiny bit stronger and the muscle's just a little itty bitty bit bigger the next time around, in case it's like, oh man, we can't handle that much stress all the time. So in case that's gonna happen, we gotta make ourselves a little bit better. Then if you repeat over and over and over the same amount of energy drain, then what ends up happening is the super compensations add up onto each other and you get bigger and much stronger, okay? So that's the basic line. This is where exercise comes in. Recovery is about sleep, it's about eating well, it's about treating yourself well, it's about feeling good and stress reduction. Okay, so that's very important, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about this mechanical stress. How do we program it? Okay, well, first of all, stick to your basic moves. Nothing fancy here. Okay, they always say the basics are what build the muscle. You're not going to be balancing on one leg on a Bosu ball, juggling kettlebells while singing the Star Spangled Banner. Stick to the basics. Pull-ups, push-ups, squats, lunges, handstands, leg raises, bridges. The basic 6 in convict conditioning work well for this, okay? High fatigue. Like I said, the entire point of a muscle building workout is to fatigue the muscle to a high degree. A lot of people talk about going to failure. This is something that, again, we've kind of made up a little bit. Even at your absolute brink, I promise you still have the ability to contract your muscles. Going to failure doesn't mean you can't do the exercise anymore. It means your muscle is literally just completely inactive. You cannot use the muscle anymore. It's not about doing an exercise. It's about using your muscle. Okay, so if you can take an exercise, make it easier and keep going, you haven't gone to failure. Okay? But that's not necessary. You don't need to go to failure. If you go to failure on a leg workout, you literally won't hardly be able to stand afterwards. That's not necessary. You don't need to do it. It's extremely hard, very punishing for both body and mind. You just need a high degree of fatigue. Again, think of like a fuel cell. You got high level of energy in the muscle and you're draining it down. And as long as you get down below a certain level, the body's like, oh crap! You know, and then when it rebuilds, it's gonna say, oh, I need a little bit extra because I don't wanna go this low. I don't wanna go this low. So high fatigue, it builds back and you do it again and again and again. It just keeps building bigger and bigger and bigger. So that cycle's gotta repeat many times. Usually 2 to 3 sets is all you're going to need, okay? High volume, there may be a little bit something to it, but if you're constantly just working like this with each set, you still haven't triggered that need to super compensate. You're getting tired, yes, but it's for other reasons. So you need to make sure this happens, which is extremely stressful. So it's usually 2 to 3 sets is that sweet spot. How many repetitions? Lots of different ranges. Okay, so strength is usually high resistance, low repetition, endurance, opposite. When it comes to building muscle, use the gamut. High rep, low rep, medium rep, everything you can imagine throughout your training programs. A lot of times people will use periodization. They'll spend a month at 1 rep range and a certain resistance, and then they'll change it up back and forth. You can do the same thing within a workout. It's like I do 2 or 3 sets at low resistance, high fatigue, and then 2 or 3 sets high resistance and high fatigue. mix this up, okay? Your body responds well to the variety of how well you do this. Ramp up, make sure that you have a good workout, a couple of sets, let your body know it's turning on. One of the biggest reasons is because the mind-muscle connection is critically important. Again, building muscle is not about doing an exercise. It's about fatiguing and working a muscle. And the only thing that tells your muscle to contract and turn on and do stuff is your brain. If your brain doesn't have a very good control over the muscle and when it can use it, it's not going to be very good at draining that chemical energy level throughout the workout. So practice the mind-muscle connection, just tensing up muscles, and body weight is really good for this because it doesn't distract you with something heavy in your hand saying, hey, focus on the weight. It's saying, focus on the muscle. I forgot to address frequency. Usually twice a week is good for a muscle group. If you recover super fast, maybe 3 times a week, but the more I go through these days, I think twice a week will do well. Some people once a week is even fine. So there are your credentials. Let me know down below if you have questions. And the next video I finish with training for fat loss. Be fit, live free. Hey gang, if you like my video, I appreciate it if you give that like button down there a click. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. New videos coming out every single day, all about body weight, strength training, conditioning, diet-free, weight loss, and healthy eating tips, and anything else you want. If you want something, just drop it down below in the comments section, and I'll respond to it in the next few days. Take care, guys.